Hi, my name's Kim Schrader, and I'm going to be doing my presentation analysis speech, and I'm going to pan my audience. Okay, great. Okay. How could God let this happen? This is a question that many have been asking since the tragedy of 9/11 in New York City. Billy Graham answers this question from his speech made on September 14th, 2001, by Charisma News article that said, "I have to confess that I do not know the answer. I have to accept by faith that God is sovereign and that He is a God of love and mercy and compassion in the midst of suffering." Billy Graham did a wonderful job delivering this speech, not by shoving harsh answers down the listeners' throats, but by also gently leading people to think about a solution that they had not thought of before. Even though 9/11 is one of America's greatest tragedies, Billy Graham's speech brought comfort to those who were searching, answers to those who were angry, and hope for those who were hurt. As we continue to look at this speech, let's get a better grasp on who Billy Graham himself was. Billy Graham was born on November 7th, 1918. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina, and in 1940, he got his diploma in biblical studies at Florida Bible Institute. He later got a BA in anthropology from Wheaton College in 1943. He met his wife, Ruth Bell, at Wheaton College, and after 65 years of marriage, she passed away in 2007 due to multiple different types of sicknesses. Billy and Ruth have 5 children that are very closely following in their footsteps. Billy is an American evangelical Christian evangelist. He's ordained as a Southern Baptist minister. While Billy held this title of an evangelist, many respected his opinions and guidance in our country, in the good times and especially in the tragedies. On September 11th, 2001, 4 planes were hijacked from members of Al-Qaeda. 2 planes hit the 2 towers of the World Trade Center. The 3rd plane hit the Pentagon, and the 4th plane hit a piece of land in Pennsylvania. Over 3,000 people were killed during this tragedy, but even more were looking for answers and for comfort. Billy Graham gave a speech at Washington National Cathedral on September 14, 2001, to speak about the aftermath of 2001 9/11. His speech was moving and prompted this country to action. An article written by Daniel Townsend from Jackson Presbyterian Examiner said, "For a moment, members of the government were willing to look past their political differences with each other and acknowledge each other as fellow Americans and fellow human beings." It's encouraging to hear that in times of tragedy, Billy Graham's speech gave others an opportunity to see one another as fellow hurting Americans and not evil people with different viewpoints. In Billy Graham's speech, he said, "The lesson of this event is not only about the mystery of iniquity and evil, but second, it's a lesson about our need for each other. This is the greatest reminder that even when something as painful as losing all of these loved ones, we as a country can stand by one another and grow in closer unity." I believe that this tragedy has grown our country closer together and has given us all the common bond of grief. Townsend also said, Graham took the opportunity to urge people to seek God. Though we need God all of the time, tragic circumstances often bring that need front and center in our consciousness. Graham urged Americans to repent of sin and seek God, promising that God blesses those who sincerely turn from their sin and seek after Him. This speech has bettered our society by reminding us of truth and showing us that even in the midst of grief, good things can come from it. Yes, this was a painful time for our country, but we are grateful to have people like Billy Graham to comfort and to give hope to the hurting. Even 13 years later, Billy Graham's speech is still important to us and implanted on our hearts. We will always remember 9/11 and the tragedy that it caused, but it is even greater to remember that the hope that we have in God. Townsend concluded with, Graham wisely put the focus not on the past, which is unchangeable, but on the future. We can't undo the horror of September 11th, but we can, here and now, choose how it will affect us from here on out. We can, as he said, disintegrate or become stronger. Thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna pan my audience one more time. Yay! Thanks for listening.